After Maduro, Trump threatens Colombia, Mexico, and Cuba. With President Trump authorizing what many are calling the kidnapping of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro over the weekend, who is now confined in a New York City jail. It should be noted that 92-year-old Judge Alvin Hellerstein, a Jew, will be presiding over the case. Some are calling this a conflict of interest due to the fact that Israel has not only taken over American politics, but the state of Israel stands to benefit politically from the latest actions of America in Venezuela. With President Maduro currently in federal custody, President Trump has now turned his attention to Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez. President Trump unleashed a new round of threats stating she would receive a fate far worse than President Maduro and that she needs to comply with U.S. wishes, or else. These statements come just after President Trump stated to the press that we're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. In the beginning, it was reported by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio that Vice President Delcy Rodriguez would work with the Trump administration, and that report was followed up with President Trump stating she really doesn't have a choice and that American troops would not enter Venezuela if the Vice President does what we want. Countering the remarks made by President Trump, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez stated that if there's something that the Venezuelan people and the country know very clearly, we will never return to being slaves. Backing up her claim, the Venezuelan military has deployed an estimated 200,000 troops, 200,000 police officers, and close to 1 million militia members within its borders. All are tasked with regulating peace and continuity of government within Venezuela. Although it is well known that a CIA operative was embedded within President Nicolas Maduro's political apparatus and provided the American military with his whereabouts, it should also be understood that there were several personnel within President Maduro's military apparatus that were also bribed by the CIA to provide information to the Americans. Although unsubstantiated, there have also been claims that the Vice President, now interim President Delcy Rodriguez, may have played a role in the Americans kidnapping President Maduro. Again, these are unsubstantiated claims. Just to the west of Venezuela, neighboring country Colombia has amassed their troop buildup, which serves a dual purpose, with the first being to secure its border from the possible influx of Venezuela refugees that may attempt to flee Venezuela should the country destabilize. Secondly, its troops are also set up to counter any kinetics action should President Trump attempt to make good on his threats towards Colombian President Gustavo Petro. President Trump stated on Air Force One that President Gustavo Petro is a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States and is not going to be doing it very long. However, President Trump's threats towards other countries don't stop there. He also threatened the Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo because of the prevalence of the various cartels operating in Mexico, and Cuba's President Miguel Díaz-Canel. Regarding Cuba, President Trump stated Cuba is ready to fall. Cuba looks like it's ready to fall. I don't know how they, if they can, hold that, but Cuba now has no income. They got all of their income from Venezuela, from Venezuelan oil. It should be noted that at least 32 Cuban citizens along with an estimated 80 Venezuelan citizens were killed during American airstrikes in Venezuela this weekend. General Vladimir Padrino, who is Venezuela's Minister of Defense, stated that the American military killed a large part of Maduro's security detail in cold blood. Log on to VEDAcom.com to read our analysis.